Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans featured right here on the Impact Lounge. This is Trent, along my co-host, Jaybone. Jaybone, say hello to the people.
What is shaking, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm hard to kill, and we have a special guest with us tonight. Now, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then I want you to give some background. This is a special guest, guys. This is a man who's, as you can see by the banner behind him, is a behind-the-scenes secret partner, silent partner, you want to call him. He's like the silent assassin of the Impact Lounge.
Yes. My name's Lino. My background is I do photo, video, and graphic design work. I'm actually a secret admin for the Facebook page of the Impact Lounge page, and a big wrestling fan, big Impact wrestling fan. Forever, since forever. So. And
we got to meet at Hard to Kill this past weekend.
Yes, great pay-per-view, great turnout, amazing crowd, good times.
Now, I got to meet a lot of people, guys. Jay, I met several listeners, some new listeners I've never met before. Were there. People came up to me, sent their regards to you, and Scumbag too. People were like, "Is Scumbag even part of the show anymore?" I said, "Let's when that bridge when we come to it." But we got a bunch of listeners. I got to meet Colby Cooper was there again, one of our biggest supporters and one of the biggest Impact Wrestling supporters out there.
Colby was there again.
Colby was there again. He made the drive in. Got to meet Ty's World Order. Good old Ty's was there. Now Ty's, I got to meet the face behind the account. So got to keep kayfabe, but Ty's is cool. Several other people. I want to thank personally everybody who came up to me at the pay-per-view, sending their regards, said hello. It was really humbling to meet everybody. I thought that was great. So, including Lino. So that was cool to finally meet put a lot of faces to names and stuff. So, guys, thank you very much. And hopefully I was courteous and you want to keep listening. So
that is a great feeling. I want to say we got a message from the Scumbag himself earlier.
Yes.
Tonight. He is his insides are pulling the Scumbag. He is under the weather. Hopefully he'll be back soon.
He is. He's not doing too well. But guys, we're all here. We're here to talk Hard to Kill. I was there live. Lino was there. Lino, did you go to the whole weekend? I went to I didn't go to the brewery, but I went to Arlington Brawl and Hard to Kill. Were you at the Arlington Brawl at all? I don't think I saw you there. But I don't know if you can hear me. I think Lino's having some audio problems. Not hearing me.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's going on.
No worries. No worries.
Can you hear Trent?
He can hear me. I think he can hear me now.
There we go. Are we good?
You're good. We're good. Yeah, but I was saying, were you at any of the other events this past weekend or just the pay-per-view?
Just the pay-per-view.
All right. Sounds good. I was at the Arlington Brawl, not the brewery show, but we'll be here. And a little bit later, guys, we're going to be joined by the infamous nurse, Nichole. She's going to pop in for a few minutes. She was back there, and I'm sure you guys have heard the news. Lots of people were banged up, injuries, blood, broken this and that. Ethan Page is talking about his salmonella. I mean, it was all over the place. She was back there taking care of everything she could. It was pretty awesome. So we're going to get the nurse perspective of being backstage. But definitely also want to give another shout out to one of our biggest supporters backstage, Jaybone, who was really complimentary to us. The legend, Johnny Bravo himself, was saying very nice things about us, which always humbled you and I, as you know, right? And we'll talk about it because Mr. Bravo was probably the best looking thing in 4K definition on the show. and this is talking about a show that had Taya on it and whatnot. So, this was, if I'm saying that, we're going to get to it in a second. But, J-Bone, we're going to have a great time talking about Hard to Kill. We were there, man. Now, I want to ask, let's gauge this. Let me ask you two. There were some dark matches that were aired today for the Impact on Access TV show. We want to discuss those, or should we leave those, Jay? And guys, should we leave those we'll talk about that maybe for a weekly, we'll do the weekly review. We'll pop in on Thursday and take care of that, Jay. What do you think?
I wanna at least touch on them because they were. We don't have to cover they had something on there from a House of Hardcore match. We don't necessarily have to talk about that one, but I do want to at least touch on the 4-way tag with Lucha Rules and the Swinger versus Joey Ryan match briefly.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, we'll talk about that in a second. Now let's do a little bit of news, a little bit of cleanup here. Jay, you had some. Now we're going to address the elephant in the room. We're not going to be the people to avoid it because we can't avoid it. The Tessa Blanchard controversy. We're not going to spend too much time on it because this is a good thing came out at the end. Yes. But Jay, you had something you wanted to touch on about this. You messaged me specifically and said, I got a big exclusive. I want to talk about it. I want to say something at least. What do you got?
I went about on this at length on my own channel. If you want to check that out at some point on Smash This Podcast. So I'm not going to dive into absolutely everything that I discussed on there. To be fair to this podcast, but yes, it does deserve to be talked about because, and I want to bring up something that some people, and I'm just spilling it out there. Some people don't have the balls to tell the complete truth. And, well, we do here on Total Nonstop Impact. I want to share something with you guys that maybe not everyone knows. And if I sound a little hot about this, yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, Jay doesn't get angry too much. It takes a lot. This is the guy who's put up with Kyle.
Well, I had a conversation with a certain Sean Ross Sapp.
You talked to him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And, well, I should say tried to have a conversation with him. He, let me try to.
He's I'm curious about this because he's pretty dismissive. I've not had good interactions with him, and I ended up just blocking him and stop following him. But
I could take him or leave him a lot of times. But you know what? This really pissed me off. I'm going to try to do a share screen here.
Okay. What do you got? You got screenshots of your.
Well, this is a conversation that has been quietly been going around that the sheets haven't shared. So,
all right, what do we got?
Let me know if this pops up on the screen.
We can see it.
Okay.
Yep.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yep.
We got it.
So, for those of you who don't know about Tessa squashing the beef with La Black Rose here, or whatever else she goes by, she tweeted out yesterday, says, "We handled it privately already. Thanks, 3 months ago."
Okay. And this was tweeted when?
Yesterday.
20th. Okay.
Within the last day or so. Yeah.
All right.
So I want to know, everybody can, spread all the hate and all the slander and all the rumors and rumors about news and news about rumors. But you can't take a second to actually put out a small article and say that, oh, but by the way, they squashed the beef and they're good. Or how about the whole story on why the incident happened? How about spreading that news? No, they don't have the balls to talk about that, do they? So I wanted to get on here and just share that with everyone who maybe hasn't seen it yet, because obviously, like I said, we have the balls to share it. Some other people that might have a bigger platform don't.
Sad, isn't it? Lino, are you what's your take on the dirt sheets? I mean, I'm not a fan of them.
I mean, it's hard to not pay attention to them because they're always in your face constantly. They try to make you feel a certain way about certain things, and you just don't know what to believe. But it keeps coming at you in waves. It's kind of hard. But I mean, what can you do to ignore it? But
it's hard to ignore it. It's hard, but you can do what like Jaybone's doing and spread that. If you see the right news, right? Let's retweet that. But it's easy to put that stuff out there and bandwagon. I mean, Twitter. I mean, look, I'll even tell you from a personal perspective that we've at AAW where I work. I mean, there's times where people have come down on us for certain things we did, and it's like a lynch mob that day. But within a day or two, people move on to the next thing.
Right here. Thank you, Bell's boy. Social media is not the place to do it. And that's a point that I said to Sean Rassap as well. Is like, so and like I just shared, they squashed it privately.
That's it. That's all we need to know.
Right.
Yeah. I did think it was kind of weird of how Sienna was the one that started the first tweet, right?
Yeah, she reacted to Tessa's tweet first.
Yeah.
And then it was a spiral from there. And Timing, obviously,
and it was
weird.
all, they knew that she was going to shake up the industry. And I was called asinine for this opinion. I called it jealousy. And jealousy could be a very ugly thing. It's like, okay, Tesla's going to rock the wrestling industry this weekend.
Yeah.
Potentially. We didn't know whether she was going to win or lose. The stage was there for her to take it. And all of a sudden, all this bullshit comes out. And it's like, why would these women do this to this girl who is going to potentially open the doors across the wrestling industry in a positive way? Oh, that's right. They're jealous.
It's sad that that exists. The thing is, it's just so easy to pick up a phone and say something, but and it can send shockwaves. But listen, fortunately, I think it's almost like the good outweighed the bad and overpowered it, because as Lino and I know, that crowd, that was a fun. There was positivity all in that room.
And
we'll get to that.
All over, yeah.
It sounded like it was all love, yeah.
You'll see it, man. I'm telling you, and maybe in a way, Lino, you could maybe attest to this. In a way, some of the controversy almost added to the match, because I'm like, everybody's like, "Oh wow, what's gonna happen?" I mean,
no one knew what
happened.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole match. So.
I was too, and we're gonna talk about that, and we'll get to it. So this. You know what? Sad to see that journalism is become what it is, and social media has become what it is. Just a yard for this kind of stuff. But
shock factor.
Yeah, that's all it is, guys. Yeah. But like I said, the key is to keep moving forward, and that's a cool thing. So. We'll discuss that. The other elephant in the room we'll talk about, we won't avoid it, the Brian Cage contract controversy that's come up. Some site I've never heard of breaking that he signed. His wife herself saying, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. He hasn't signed anything. All that going on. It's a wait and see. Let's see what happens. Don't get too ahead of people. Jumped all over it and they retracted it. It was such a mess. It's like, just take it easy. See what happens.
Man.
Good or bad, we had a good run with Cage. We had a good time. His match obviously wasn't as long and tell, do a lot of long-term storytelling, but we'll get to it. But again, people just like to run with this shit, and it's unbelievable to me, man. But anyway, on a more positive note, Dallas, Texas, January 12th. Now I want to talk the venue. Lino, you could talk about this too. The venue. How cool. Great. Is that the Bomb Factory? Now, from the outside, you couldn't tell it was anything special.
You drive by, and I would even think it's a venue. It's crazy.
It's like an industrial-looking venue from the outside, flat, against basically like what was an industrial-type street. But, man, it inside is so cool.
Yeah, was way bigger than I thought it was going to look like inside.
Yeah.
Like you said, you had no idea from being the outside it was going to look like that. It was great.
Not at all. Super cool place, Jay. You wouldn't expect it. It was really, really nice. I really enjoyed it. But man, it was one of those venues where you guys saw it on TV, had a huge stage and the crowd all around and a second level all around. And it was just like the sound traveled nicely, the lighting, everything was perfect. And the audio was phenomenal. Lino, did you notice how loud and the clear the music was?
Oh no, it was perfect, man.
It got you into it.
Oh man, going to a live show like that has just been amazing. Like so different than on TV, obviously.
Yeah, it was cool. It was very cool. I really enjoyed that venue, but yeah, man, that was one part of it, man. But dude, I got to get in a little early, so I saw a lot of the VIP guys, like front row Bill was there. I got to see him. Tyaz was there, and doing the VIP thing. So then I saw Colby, a couple other listeners were coming up. So I got to see a bunch of people before everything got really kicked off. So that was a lot of fun. I'm glad I was able to get in there beforehand. But man, good vibe, good vibe backstage, good vibe around the room. Everybody was excited. But we kicked off with a couple of darks. We'll talk about them real quick. A couple of dark matches that happened. And I didn't know there was going to be dark matches. That was the thing. I didn't know they were going to do any. And it was a little surprising because I was like, oh, shit, we're doing dark matches. I had no idea, even though I kind of went backstage, said hello to everybody that I knew. And then I saw a couple of guys who were getting ready for a match. I was like, wait a minute. I know you guys are here. So then I figured from what I was told, they were going to do the stuff for access, like the exclusive kind of on the recap show and whatnot. So we'll talk about it real quick. We had Shera and Raju, the Desi Hit Squad, taking on the Rascalz, Reno SCUM, and TJP and Daga. It was a cool match. Aired tonight on Impact on Access and Twitch. So that was a fun match, and it was obviously with these guys all in the ring, definitely fun. Now, Lino, did you catch this match from the audience? I was backstage.
It was great. No, it was a good match. Everyone got to perform really well. It was very fast paced. It was a good time.
I'm glad these guys got to come down. Jay, did you catch that tonight on tonight's program?
I did. It was a great match. Everybody, like the term, everybody got their shit in. I'll tell you who really shined. Now, the Desi Hit Squad got the win, but I'll tell you who really shined in this match. Reno SCUM. I
think this is their best match since coming back.
Oh, I'm hearing something from the. It sounds like we got a visitor here.
We got a visitor.
Is there a nurse in the house?
Oh, look who it is.
The nurse is here. Everybody.
How's it going?
So nurse,
can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? I'm on my
iPad,
so okay, cool.
We're joined by Lino here. He was at the show. I don't think you got to meet him, but
no.
But he's behind the scenes at the Impact Lounge. There's a lot of work, so this was a long time coming for him to join us. But we just started talking about the dark matches. But since you're only staying for a little bit, I know you had a long day. We talked about some news. Let's just touch real quick on how busy you were backstage, taking care of all the boo-boos and the bloods and the.
There was so much from everything from blood to almost passing out to dehydration to just general cold and feeling yucky, which I'm just going to gather all that together and I'm going to make a very bold statement. So I haven't even covered this with you, Trent, but
be careful.
I just want to say shame on anybody who bags on these guys and women for like the whole, crap in your pants to what's his name or to Ethan, that chant, or just shame on anybody if these wrestlers are not up at their right performance or whatever, because I saw so much backstage where they are going through all of this stuff, having colds, having dehydration, having just hurt, having injuries, and they still go out there and they perform for us. So just shame on anybody who does a weird chant about stuff like that, or just, I don't know. That's all I have to say about it. But I was busy. And they really put their heart out. They put their heart out for everybody.
She was taking care of everybody. I don't even think you got to go out into the arena much because you were backstage but running back and forth, taking care of a lot of different things. It was cool. She was there because she knows a lot of these people from AAW and stuff like that. So, and then other Impact shows. So nice to have a nurse there taking care of everybody. But any we don't want to give everybody's personal business away, obviously. But what do you think was the biggest takeaway from what you saw? I mean, like you said, everybody was working really hard and everybody was really giving it their all, despite some injuries and downfalls. I mean, you had they kept you busy. What's your biggest takeaway out of it all? How do you feel? How do you feel good about that you were there to help and whatnot?
I do. I mean, and I know I'm obviously I'm in an unofficial capacity. I'm Moose's nurse. No, but I
had to get work in there.
But I did. Biggest takeaway is just it felt nice that they trusted me enough to be there to help them in just little things, such as, instead of dropping a big old chunk of ginger in their hot tea, I'm like, no, please, you got to peel that to get some of the stuff out. But I mean, the biggest takeaway is just like what I said before, but also they seeing how much they supported each other. Yeah. They really did. They supported each other in the back. They were excited about all the awesome moves that were, happening. They could see, and you guys are just their hearts and soul are out there for us. So, and that's why I love giving back to them, because of what I saw back there, and what I got to see out there in the stage. So,
yeah. Oh, it was really cool. I'm glad you were there to help out. So we just started talking about the show, the dark matches that kicked off everything that aired tonight, and but I'm glad you came when you did, because I wanted to just touch on some stuff. I mean, the Rich Swann, she was there the day before at Arlington Brawl, and to look into Rich and take a look at Rich and make sure he was patched up, and he went to the hospital and got himself looked at. I mean, that was I made him
pinky promise.
Yep.
Like, pinky promise me you're gonna go. These guys, they push themselves, and women, they push themselves.
So can you confirm that injury was legit?
I will not confirm, but I made pinky promises for them to make sure that they take care of themselves. Is that not confirmed? Is that not a confirmed thing?
That's pretty good. We'll go with that. Until anything else official is said. But she was definitely a resource for them. When Cage got bloodied up, she went and looked at him right away. Ethan, making sure Ethan made his very public, guys. Let's put that out there. He was very public about his.
That photo of him on the player is so funny.
I mean,
oh my gosh. Oh, and that's the biggest takeaway too. You guys, these are awesome people out there without all of the crap that gets put on social media. Not to talk about anything specific. They're human beings, and they're pretty awesome ones back there. Like, they're different personality. A few of the people that I didn't think that were, maybe I didn't have an affinity for, I got more interaction with them, and they're just really awesome. They're really awesome. There's a big bunch of good people in Impact right now. They just really are.
It's a good, guys. She did everything from pep talk, check them out, properly peel the ginger for their tea so their stomachs felt okay, to making sure Ethan Page and his digestive issues got the Gatorade he needed to stay hydrated with his electrolytes. I mean, hey, this is a full service nurse. There was no Gatorade they had a whole drink station, everything. The Gatorade was out. She went to the bar and she said, "I need Gatorade for this guy's electrolytes." So got Gatorade put in for Ethan Page. I think they really appreciate you. I think it's very appreciated by the team.
And to speak to just different injuries and specifying all that, sometimes they get me with their I go back to, "Are you okay?" And they admit whatever, and they or they say, but sometimes they push themselves. "Nah, I'm okay." When I can tell that they're not. So that's all I'll have to say. I'll hide any truth behind that.
All right, deal. Fair enough. It is. I gotta say, guys, it is pretty sweet to see the second these guys come back. She runs over to all of them to check them out. "Are you okay? You need anything? Can you do anything?" So it's pretty nice. But so we just started talking about the dark matches. You can, if you need to hop off, let us know when you want to hop off. But we talked about the multi-10 tag. Now the Desi Hit Squad wins, guys. And finally, right?
I mean, yeah, finally.
Big win. Also,
props to them. Absolutely.
The new ring announcer, who's been there for a couple tapings now, including this pay-per-view, who's becoming a regular. He finally we finally got a ring announcer who pronounces Desi correctly. Finally. But he's great, and his name is slipping. I can't remember his name. We also ran into him, Nurse. We ran into the ring announcer and D-Lo at a Whataburger that night.
Nice.
But I totally forgot his name, but he's doing a great job. But the Desi Hit Squad guys, big win. Can we finally get a tag? Maybe at least a shot at the tag belts, even if it's not going to go further. At least a shot to legitimize this win. And what do you think, Lino? I mean, I think they look pretty good out there.
It's definitely needed. Before we started this, me and Jaybone were saying that we like the comedy, tone it down a bit. There could be some really good contenders for sure.
I think so too. I think we got to elevate them up. Jay, I know we've been big fans for a long time. I think it's time. I think it's time to put him in a title shot.
Yeah, especially the combo. I mean, we've seen the combo of Rohit and Raj Singh, over the course, on and off over the course of last year, and then before that, Rohit and the name is slipping me. I apologize.
To Shera?
No, the who came in first as a tag team with Rohit.
Yeah, well, you had Raj.
About 2 years ago.
Gursinder Singh.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And now Shera. So, I mean, I'm really digging the combo of Rohit and Shera. You've got the super athletic, flying around the ring, X Division stylings of Rohit. And then you've got the monster Shera, who I think is really starting to slowly come into his own.
It's getting there.
It hasn't been exactly smooth, but it certainly is improving. I see the improvements. And
definitely
the combination together, it can be just lethal, and I'm digging it.
There's a whole round of tag teams, like there's the Rascalz, the Hit Squad, the Deaners, SCUM. These are all guys who I want to see in a tag title mix. At least give them shots is what I want to see. So there's a lot of teams out there. Let's see what we can do. But I think all of them, Lino, especially live, I think it went over pretty well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the crowd didn't. They weren't getting the boos they normally get. They normally get. So it was kind of cool. I think people are starting to respect their abilities in the ring. So,
Nurse, you like the Desi Hit Squad for obvious reasons, right?
I do like them. Have they been worked up as well as the North? I don't think so. So I think part of what would help them is maybe some good, storylines, some promo, something to like put them more out instead of just, before they were just kind of goofy characters in the ring. But I think if they did some serious like promo work on the side or something, I just think they're just talent wise, yes, they would be very awesome, but they need to work them up a little bit more to get to the level of the North to look like a legit match in my mind.
Definitely. One of the weird things, though, guys, I want to point out, TJP and Daga teamed on this one, no Fala. And it's weird because, you were doing the TJ and Fala thing. So I'm kind of curious what happened to Fala. And I didn't see him. So I don't know if he had to go home. Because I think now, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I haven't gotten a chance to watch Bash of the Brewery yet. Was he on Bash of the Brewery? I thought he was.
I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, so I don't know.
Okay. I thought he was. Guys in the chat, let us know. I think he was on it. And I was surprised he was, because he was even scheduled for an autograph signing on Saturday at Arlington Brawl. I didn't see him there either. So I think maybe he had to get out of Texas. Maybe he had to go home. But Daga got in with TJP. So I'm not going to discuss too much on Daga and TJP because I don't think I think it was kind of just maybe a last minute.
Yeah, Daga did double duty.
He did.
Night. Yeah.
Yeah,
he definitely did it, and triple if you count him coming out for the celebration at the end too.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
But the other dark match, guys. Now, before I say it, did it air tonight? Because I haven't had a chance to watch tonight's yet. I watched only half because I had to run out for band practice. Did Swinger and Joey Ryan air tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Hilarious. I love anything Johnny Swinger does. I love it. You can just put it in there. And I'll put it over. That went over great. Even in the back, we were watching in the back. Me and the nurse were back there with everybody was hanging around, and people were the locker room was popping at this one. And I thought
that was a match that I went out and watched. And
did you go out for that one?
Yeah, okay. I did, and I have to say, I love how Joey commits to his character. Everything aside, whether you like him or not, or whether you like that style or not, he commits to his character. He does.
So does Swinger.
It's awesome.
So does Swinger, and I like Swinger a lot.
Yeah, you got that.
we had a conversation in the car on who the most handsome member of the Impact Wrestling roster is. This was a conversation with our whole group that included Basil and referee Nate, who I wanted to say real quick. I want to give a shout out. My friend, one of my dear friends, referee Nate Speckman, was the referee in that tag team match that opened, that aired tonight. So his goal of making Impact Television happened tonight, and or on Sunday, and it aired tonight. So he was on tonight. He was a referee in that multi-man tag. So very proud of him. I want to put that out there. But to go back to that question, I voted for Johnny Swinger as the most handsome member of the Impact Wrestling roster.
We're over, Trent. We're over.
But anyway, so great match. I think this is fun. These guys are both very character-driven guys, so obviously it's what you expected it to be. It was, and it was a lot of fun. So, the Pizzills are working, the Rizats are happy. Johnny Swinger's doing a good job.
I wish they would be a tag team though, man. They'd be a great tag team.
I think they might be leading up to it, or at least something, right? I think they might be.
I want to see it for sure.
Okay. So I didn't quite catch this part, but I saw the end part of it. But there was a fan that got Joey's sucker. Was that after he stuck it in his pants?
Yes.
Did they show that on
sure,
TV?
yes. Yeah, it was in his pants for sure.
Yeah.
That's
backstage.
Okay.
There was backstage. Oh my god, her name's slipping my mind. The interviewer, the new interviewer, she's slipping my mind right now. Oh god,
Gabby Loren. Yeah.
Gabby was like, "Wait a minute, was it?" She said the same thing. Was it in his pants first? What? She was shocked at that too.
That guy was so excited too.
Very excited.
Very excited for that sucker.
Very excited. All right, but let's kick it off, guys. Hard to Kill kicked off. The crowd was fantastic. Lights, camera, action. I thought it looked great. I came across. Jay has a sucker right now. That is wonderful. Great prop comedy here, Jay.
It's my stash.
Opened up, guys. All right. Opened up with Ken Shamrock taking on Madman Fulton, who came out, Jake and Dave Christ. Jay, I want to talk to you about this one first. Kicking it off, how'd you like it? How did it come off? This was I figured it was going to open, and I didn't see any lineup. I figured this was going to be the one that opened. What'd you think of this one? This was pretty. People didn't know what to expect with this one, right? They didn't have much story going in. Everybody's like, why is this even happening?
This one probably had the least amount of build to it. I mean, they had some kind of interaction. They played off of that. Like it was like a week or two before that. As far as OVE and Ken Shamrock got stuck in the mix, fighting with other people and Tessa and all that kind of stuff. So to kick off the pay-per-view with that match, I'll tell you what, it was a pleasant surprise to show how good Fulton is. And commentary did a nice job of reminding people that maybe are new to him or haven't seen him, show off his ring skills in quite a while. This guy, like they said, is a two-time All-American. This guy has legit wrestling skills like Brock Lesnar, and the list goes on and on and on, like those guys. So, yeah, this guy's got it. He may look like an absolute, Ohio-driven maniac from OVE, but the guy, he looked good out there with Ken. And the fact that he finished the match after whatever happened with his shoulder or dislocated or whatever happened, I won't push Nurse Nichole. I won't push you to reveal any of that. But yeah, the fact that he finished it, I mean, I've got a ton of respect for him, and yeah, it was a lot better than I had projected going into this. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by Fulton's skills and Ken Shamrock. He maybe, is not as good as he used to be, but for facing a beast like Fulton, I was happy with this match.
No, definitely. I like Lino. What about you, man? You were pretty close up.
Oh my gosh! So I've never seen Shamrock.
You can hear the
before.
pop.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Cool.
Oh yeah. I've never seen Shamrock before in real life. Seeing him, still impressive. Physically, he looks great. I thought.
56 years old.
Oh,
right?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Oh man, he's not moving too. He's not stiff. He's not that stiff. He might not be as fast, but he's not as stiff. And I noticed that a lot in the ring, so that's pretty cool.
I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard you can actually hear the shoulder pop if you were up close.
Oh, I didn't hear. The person next to me was too loud, but I didn't hear anything like that. Who knows?
Shamrock rolled him up. He rolls back and yanked his arm, popped the shoulder. Fulton taps out. Not too long of a match, but man, I think it actually, to be honest, I think Fulton got made because I'm going to say this: after the show was over, Fulton kind of came out and was just hanging around. Arm was up and hung up. I think he had in a little brace or sling, but he came out and man, the line to say hello to him and shake his hand and take pictures of him was huge.
Oh yeah, he definitely got a lot of people's respect that night, and I don't think
so.
He didn't get that many boos towards the end of the match either. So that was kind of cool. Yeah.
I one little tidbit I want to add was he got himself so psyched backstage before the show started as they're counting the show down. He really is a monster. He's in the back and is by himself, and he's just just getting psyched.
Was he getting any more slaps from any of the Chris brothers?
No, they were not slapping. He was doing his own, just slapping his head, getting psyched. It was intense, man, to watch that. I liked it.
Great.
Nurse, what are your thoughts on this one? Did you get a chance to catch this one? I think you were busy from the get-go.
I was busy, but I will just say I'm a fan of Fulton's. I told him I can't wait. I hope AEW brings him, and I'm a big fan of his. I really am.
She's been pitching AEW to bring him in, make him a regular for a while. He used to come and hang out at the shows, but she's been saying, "Hey, we need him as a regular." So, hey, it might happen.
There's a lot of things I don't see as a new fan, that you guys notice, but there's certain things that I do notice of just he draws me and I think he's awesome.
It's really cool. No, he's great. Kill Steel mentioned the stage at the, I got to say real quick, the stage added so much to the entrances, guys. It had the raindrop screens, going kind of in that pattern. And it had this really large stage, big screen in the back, playing the video. Lights were great. I thought, Jay, you watched it on TV. How did it look on TV with the entrance? Because we saw it up close, but man, it looked really nice with the raindrop screens. How did that come off on TV?
Oh, it looked huge. I mean, the whole place looked genuinely big. It looked I would say it looked about as big. I mean, I don't know how many people were there, but it looked about as big as the Bound for Glory crowd in Chi-Town.
Okay.
So, it looked, this, when you do stuff like that to the stage and the backdrop and the lights and the whatever, that always adds a certain extra kicking quality to the show, makes it feel bigger, even if there's only a couple thousand people there, whatever,
Yeah, it definitely fills it really nice. So it was pretty cool. Of Tessa arriving and then Sammy arriving, just a little. Now we didn't get to see this. I think they showed a couple of things, Lino. Correct me if I'm wrong. A couple of things.
Yeah, no, they showed it on screen. They showed Tessa walking on screen.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job doing that through the whole night. So.
Okay, yeah, because I know there's some things I saw for sure. I might not have caught this one, but I definitely know they showed it at some point. But we see footage of Swan getting hurt at Bachelor Brewery, and commentary's not sure what the condition's going to be. That looked brutal. They actually showed the clip tonight too on Access, and it was wicked. I mean, he was hunched, he was bent over. Dave Chris went for like a kind of a swanton type thing, and he just that bone just collapsed. I mean, he screamed in pain. As the nurse knows, she was checking it out, so he screamed in pain. But we go.
Say,
yeah, I know you got
Schwan. Is that Rich is a very, very good performer. That's for sure.
Nurse-patient confidentiality, but no, he was definitely he looked in pain on Bachelor Brewery. But we go, guys. First title match of the night: Ace Austin taking on Trey Miguel, X Division title. The X Division belt is the best looking revamped belt out of all the new red painted belt. I think it looks awesome. For anybody who's as old as me, Lino, did you watch the X Division, the TNA stuff?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. It's definitely a throwback to that.
It is.
Yes. It's great.
Jay, as you and I have been watching the throwback shows, you can see this is like a throwback to the original X Division title belt. And it looks really cool.
Yeah. The fact that they gave each of the titles a nice little modern kick for the Access TV, changeover is nice. It's fitting, you know.
It looked really cool. I love, now prior to the match, the hype videos for this. Ace Austin in the gym every night, wearing the belt, working out, going to the store, wearing the belt, whatever, on the plane, wearing the belt. He wore the belt everywhere he went. I loved it. Tim Bischoff, just how close was to selling out? I didn't see an open seat in the house. That thing was pretty packed. I think it was, I don't have official numbers, but that was a full room, just to answer the question here. But beautiful belt. I love that he's been repping it. But anyway, back to the match. Mama Miguel's in the front row. She's watching it, and she's looking concerned. The match starts off. It's what you'd expect. A lot of spots, a lot of story, which I liked from an X Division title match. A lot of people just wanted them to go balls to the wall, but the thing is, this one had a lot of story built in, so you had to get that all in there, especially with Mama Miguel sitting in the front row. So this was a surprising result, though. I did not see it. Ace retaining on this one, so I did not think Ace was going to retain. I thought we were in for some story on. A title change on this one, but he got him. Hurricane from the apron, Trey down, hits the fold, and he's done. It was clean. It was pretty clean. So, Jay, were you surprised? Were you expecting Trey to take a title here? I know I was for sure.
Seeing as he just got it at Bound for Glory, and that's just a few short months ago. No, I've got a feeling they're gonna really build this new wave of the X Division around Ace. This guy is, this guy is going to be one of the top guys in Impact Wrestling over the course of the next, we'll say at least couple years. Most of these guys that come in and they get hot, they're around for at least between 2 to 3 years, whether it's tag team or single star. He's an X Division now, and I see him carrying it up till, we'll say, summertime is my guess.
All right, sounds good. What about you, Lino? Were you expecting a Triple X Division? Were you expecting a title change?
I'm definitely a Triple X Division fan right now. No, he's amazing. He's doing great things for the division for sure. I don't think we've had a champion that's been that good of a. I think he's a great talker. Does good promos. He's young. He's only 22.
20. I think he just turned 23, but
23.
Still very young.
That's crazy to me. And then they signed him to a 3-year contract. So
yeah,
I think he needs to hold a title for a long time. Honestly, the storyline that they're doing with Trey is great. They really don't give the X Division that many storylines, and they're finally getting some traction. So hopefully we'll get to see more character development with a lot of the different wrestlers coming out.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. They're going to build a lot around him. Nurse Nichole, I told Trey initially to stay away from you. I said, you better stay away from her because you're trying to steal everybody's wives and girlfriends and mothers.
You mean Ace?
I'm sorry, Ace.
Yes. I yes, no problem there. Not my type, but I agree with you, that he's a great talker. Like, his performance is awesome. Great talker, just his look is great. Body type is even, I enjoy it. I think he's going to have a really long career if he keeps making good choices with himself and his career, and just that people promote him well. So he is a theater student also, from what I understand, his theater background. So he's a good performer. He gets it. He knows character. I want to address a quick question here. Lakers is asking, why was the crowd dead in the first half of Hard to Kill? First few matches, the crowd was much better there for Slammiversary than Hard to Kill. I think it was a little bit of a build, to be honest. What happened was we got the dark matches were pretty exciting. You had a lot of fun with those. Then we kicked off. I think Shamrock and Fulton was more of a methodical match, and I would not have put that as the opener. But I think for the sake of pace, they didn't know where to put it really, maybe, or maybe they had their reason. I think that. Oh, well, real quick, I think that kind of to calm everybody down off the openers, and they were like, you have to build them back up, and I think this match started kicking things back into gear, especially with what happened. Where after Trey loses, Mom's checking on him,
and he kind of walks away. And then Ace goes over and starts saying something to her, probably something dirty that you shouldn't say to a mother. But then you see Trey. Now, I was right on the side. Lino, you were looking right ahead at the stage, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You see Trey run down.
Oh, my God.
And Trey, you could tell me how it looked on TV because he runs out and he just flies over all the security and just decks Ace. And it was chaos. And that woke everybody up. That was like, oh, shoot.
No one was expecting that at all. They thought it was done. He comes back flying. No, it was great. It was
awesome. It was awesome. You were going to say something, Nurse?
Yeah, I was just a little bit of perspective of my first taping at, and some other ones with Impact. There's just a huge difference between being there and how it gets portrayed on TV. Like the ones I've been to, I was screaming my head off. I hear other people screaming their heads off. They're chanting, they're yelling. And then I'd see it on TV and I'm like, wow, everybody just looks like they're like this. Like it's just, I know it's not completely that, but I have noticed a huge difference, but I don't know. I don't know if it's how it's produced or what they choose to like sound. I don't know, but
Jane, you and I have talked about this, about miking the crowd more and how we know it's a little bit, it's been a little better recently. Because one thing Jay and I have talked about this in detail, right, Jay? Like we've thought about like certain times, like I think the Philly tapings came up and I was like, that room was super loud. And you're like, yeah, it's crazy. It didn't come off that way on TV. And I'm like, no, it was loud in person. And I think it was stuff like that you're saying, Nichole. It's properly miking that crowd and portraying. But I think it did perk up later on in the show because they were so loud you couldn't avoid it, no matter if the crowd was mic'd or not.
Oh, yeah. I think the acoustics in every place is different. Like they go up to Canada in that one really big, was it the big college gymnasium or whatever it is? That place is loud as hell on
St. Clair
TV.
College,
Yeah.
It always comes off good.
And, every place is a little different. You go down to Mexico and that's a completely different audience. You go out to Vegas, that's different. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, it is. It's true. I feel like Vegas is the one that needs the most work to do something to capture the room better. And I know Bill's in the room too. Front row, Bill Gardner's in the room, and he goes to the Vegas shows. I want to just, Bill, if you can drop a quick comment in the chat. Is Vegas a lot? I've been told Vegas is a lot louder in person than it comes off on TV, and I think it's just the way it gets produced somehow doesn't translate it over. But I'd like to hear that from him. But we go right to another title match. Now, 2 title matches in a row. This was a knockouts one. Right before, Gabby Loren talks to ODB about her food truck burning down. ODB being back up in wrestling. Her new food truck's going to be up this year in the spring. She's looking to make 2020 even better. Trying to go for a 5 times knockouts champion. I think she's in pretty regularly now, but I've been a little critical about her being in this match because I wanted Jordan to have her spot against Taya. I know why they did it. Nice little throwback to some old Impact knockouts. But nevertheless, I think the crowd really loves ODB. They still love her from the old days, and she is a fan favorite. So we go here, Taya Valkyrie with Johnny Bravo taking on Jordan Grace and ODB Knockouts Championship. Jaybone, you're a pretty snazzy dressed guy, but you are no Johnny Bravo. My God. My God. This man, the matching type outfits these two had, and he told me, he said, you and Jaybone be on the lookout because what I got planned for the pay-per-view, you're not going to believe it. I'm going to blow your minds on this one. Just wait and see.
Oh, the fact that he was matching Taya,
unbelievable.
And the whole Cruella DeVille thing, and he had the spotted pants,
unbelievable,
and she had the top, like it's like a one piece that goes all the way down, swirling with the reds and the silvers and the black and the white and the oh my God, Taya looked phenomenal. I mean, she looked as decked out as just a quick comparison to anybody else in the roster that always looks like $1 million for their matches is Moose.
Yeah, very true.
She looked like, I know a lot of people picked Jordan Grace to win this one. I've seen some people online wanted ODB. I don't remember what you picked. I picked Jordan Grace because I'm like, oh, man. I think it's her time. You know, Taya's been champ a year. I think it's time to pass the torch, or whatever, however you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
But when they came out looking like that, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's going to keep the black streak in her hair. I like that. That was a good little touch for the Cruella de Vil thing, too. So
yeah,
cool.
that was awesome. And I was like, man, she looks like $1 million. I don't know if she's losing tonight.
Interesting. I want to get the girls' perspective here on Taya, the dress. I know you love when these guys put the time into the character, into the look, into the costuming.
And her look that night goes to show how much it even added for me, because I've never been a big Taya fan. I mean, I like her as a person. I just have never been I just don't like that lady's type of style and look of wrestling, but she was phenomenal. It was like one of those, like, wow, you know, you just can't help but notice when they go that far, how much it adds to the moment. Really, just the moment.
One thing I gotta say, the Impact roster does, especially like who's known for it is Taya and Moose, or two they're very known for it, is every pay-per-view is to have new gear, new stuff. And it looks awesome, especially Moose, right? I mean, he's very open about, like, tweets it out. It's like new vest coming, you know, or new this, sells the old ones off. Like, he is very open about it. But man, these two put some time into making sure they make it special. It looks special out there. Sammy too, for that matter. Sammy went out there with that too. Tessa does that for hers as well.
And I don't want to, I mean, they looked phenomenal. But I mean, honestly, even backstage, Jordan looked like her outfit. I know it wasn't as flashy as it was Taya's, but it looked so good on her.
Yeah, she had a new one too.
I liked it.
She made a tweet. She said it was funny. She goes, I paid too much for this outfit to not win the Knockouts title.
Yeah.
Just a real quick, Bill in the chat just said that Vegas is not the loudest venue, but it's definitely louder than what we see on TV. So that's one I'd like, maybe a little constructive. I'd like them to work on that. Let's not be afraid to mic the crowd, because I felt that at a few tapings I went to and I watched on TV and I said, they're not doing it justice. We got to really put that. We got to make sure that crowd is mic'd so that people at home can get into it and understand what we're feeling live, especially Philly.
Which I really don't get either, because, during like the commercials, they really go around and they really try to hype you up and do a good job of like trying to get you to scream and yell and whatever. So I don't understand why it doesn't come across.
Yeah, I think it's just something they got to work on from a production standpoint, like a live perspective. But some venues come out great. It's just, I think it's town to town, something I'd like to see them work on. But the finish on this one, guys, shocking finish, but done so well. Taya Valkyrie making the pin I'm sorry, she made the pin on. I have it here. Grace Driver. Well, here's the sequence was cool. Jordan Grace hits the Grace Driver ODB. Bravo jumps up on the apron, distracts the referee. Taya slips in and makes the cover on ODB while everything's distracted, and Bravo's holding Jordan's foot and she can't get in. So it was so good, man. I thought it was awesome. It was such a simple finish, but it worked. It worked great.
Yeah, that combo, and Johnny Bravo came through again. As much as she gives him shit every week and messes with him and cusses him out and all that stuff, and guess what? She's champ because of him.
Yeah, it's awesome. They make a great team, and it's funny to think they were only supposed to be together for a short little run after the Johnny thing, or even he was supposed to be just with Johnny for a little bit, and what it turned into is phenomenal. It's what a great, and I'm not saying this because I love John, and he's so supportive of us, and he's such a good guy, such a good friend. But I just love his story. I mean, who would have thought a career can take that kind of turn? Like he was wrestler to referee after trying for a long time to become a referee and to get something on there full time, to do the small thing with Johnny Impact, and then to this, and he's fantastic in it. And Johnny's another one. I mean, he goes all out with the outfits too in every show. So that stuff is really cool. That is really cool. So the Taya reign continues, guys. Longest reigning knockouts champ and then some. So we have a lot. We have some stuff coming up for Mexico. I wonder what they're lining up for Taya, man. I don't know. Maybe a Jordan rematch. I think somebody in the chat said a Jordan rematch could be in line in Mexico. So we'll see. Next one, we go backstage. Gabby's talking to Rob Van Dam and Katie Forbes. They're off to the side making out, doing the thing they do. And Forbes kicks Gabby to the curb, and she interviews RVD. Says there's no doubt he's going to win, but what he's going to do after the match. That's what they've planned on. They plan on something to do after the match. RV says he's going for it, even if the fans want his autograph. He's the fans want his autograph, and then Daga walks by and he's like, yeah, look at like this guy right here. He wants my autograph, and Daga's like, excuse me. He looks pretty disgusted. Eventually walks away. So they kind of teased a little Daga RVD tension right there. They kind of refer to Daga as a fan. Sorry, I was a little like all over the place with that, but it's hard to paint that picture if you didn't see it. But they kind of showed that tension. So Jay, I'm sorry, I should have let you explain it a little better.
No, it's all right. I had completely forgotten about it. It's all good.
I actually saw Jay. There it is. Oh, we lose Jay. There you are, Jay. All right, we lost you for a second. Go ahead. How did that come off on screen?
You.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh my God, I lost everybody. Okay, no, we're here.
I just wanted to, I was asking you, how did that come off on screen with the whole Daga RVD interaction?
Oh, it happened so fast, and I'm glad you brought it up because I'd completely forgotten about it. I was like, wait a minute, how did he end up in the match with Cage? And yeah.
So he referred to Daga as a fan. I thought that was pretty funny. He's like, even the fans want my autograph. So it was kind of cool. It was pretty good. So I didn't get to see that on screen. I might have been walking around and doing something, so I didn't get to catch that part. But that made sense to how they worked Daga in later on. But the match was RVD with Katie Forbes taking on Brian Cage. This was interesting because RVD came out to new music. Did you guys catch that?
Oh, I love it. I think it's great. It goes together for his heel persona right now. It's great.
Yeah.
It was so, Lino, I thought it sounded really cool.
Oh, yeah. People were like really feeling it and like dancing. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it too. I'm bobbing my head. It was great.
And he's like real slow and he's like not playing into much. He's kind of just doing his thing. It was interesting. Now, this is a match that caused the nurse to get into mode because pretty short. It wasn't that long of a match, but at one point, RVD, I think it was a Van Daminator, and caught Brian Cage right in the mouth. And
Van Terminator, yeah.
Van Terminator, and he caught him in the mouth, and that was it, man. It was Blood City. And it was pretty.
It looked really great in the match, though. He looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was
but,
all.
I mean, but think
swollen.
about it though. Like he had an injury and bleeding all over, and they still went on for a little bit after that. It was. I mean, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. I taste a little blood in my mouth from biting my lip, and I'm like, oh. So, like, they do all that even though they're hurt. It's crazy.
What was interesting was before the match started, there was a woman ringside who kind of grabbed Cage's arm to, like, distract him a little bit, and that allowed RVD to get a jump start on. That was the other girlfriend. That's Katie Forbes' girlfriend. The
Jennifer Barlow.
Jennifer Barlow. That's her name. Good call.
Yeah. No, I spotted her because she was literally like 5 seats from me, and I was like, that girl looks so familiar. And wait a minute, she's in green. They're wearing green. Something's about to go down.
She definitely stands out. She's pretty tall. Stands out. They have a name for this what they are. They're not a couple. They're a throuple or something.
Throuple. You said it. Yeah, that's it. A throuple.
So it's Katie's girlfriend. So she distracts Cage. RVD gets the jump on him and everything. But that Van Terminator looked wicked. Van Daminator. Then he got him on a Van Terminator later on. And that looked wicked. Cage is out of it. And then Daga makes the run in on this one. And he wants to just kind of protect Cage, make sure RVD doesn't keep going at him. Cage taken to the back. No announcement to really kick off that this is now Daga and RVD, because RVD just kind of, they consider RVD the winner during ref stoppage with Cage's mouth and bleeding and everything. But then it just turns into RVD and Daga. And it was, they didn't announce it, did they? They just kind of started the match.
There was no explanation at all either. I was hoping someone to say something on the mic, but that didn't ever happen.
Yeah, he just started kicking his ass, and even the commentators were like, I guess this is a match?
It was weird, like that kind of stuff. I want them. I mean, look, for the live crowd, it was really confusing. It was like, why is Daga in the match? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
So it was a little confusing for us to know what happened. But they went into it. Did they say anything on commentary like else after that, Jay? Did they mention like, I guess we have a match or we're going with this? And
yeah, it was they were confused as well, and it came off confusing on screen too, because Daga ran down, which you could, I mean, you know, you're not stupid. You can kind of figure out what's going to happen next. He starts getting his ass kicked, but I don't think there was a bell rung. So it's like, okay, so now they're going to switch. Because as soon as Brian came down to the ring, I mean, he had tape from almost his shoulder down the whole inside of his arm. And I'm like, oh, that don't look good.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy Dreamer even tweeted out a whole list of injuries and said that he had a torn bicep, something like that. So I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense why he didn't last very long in the match, you know. And yeah. I'm not going to ask Nurse for any private details or anything. That's just what was put out there. So it's like, okay, so he was, you know, and then so whatever happened besides that, the Van Terminator, the busted lip, the whatever happened was just a combination of things. It's like, okay, it makes sense why he was pulled from the match.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to quickly touch. So they went back and forth. RVD takes out Daga with a 5-star frog splash, but the Nurse, we'll talk to him, and we can talk about this because everybody did see his lip get split. He's been very open. He showed the stitches and everything. She sprung into action back there on that lip. She saw it firsthand, ran up to him, checked him out, and went the extra mile. She went with Brian Cage to get stitched up after that. She took a ride
him out there. Yep.
Yeah.
My friend was with me, and we just drove him out there, and that's another reason. I mean, he's backstage, and you know I'm trying not to say too much, but yeah, just needed that little extra help, and I don't mind doing that for them because they just did that for us. So, but yeah, it was a fancy pants ER, and he enjoyed. There was candy laid out, and he had a great time. Candy and chips, and my friend said it was in a millionaire area, and it was fun. It was great to see that, but sad for him.
Yeah, she insisted to, you know, it was more so a connection with someone she considered, someone she cared about, and then basically that's her patient at that moment. And so, I mean, you even like,
that's why I want to do that follow up. I want to make sure, because like I said, I've learned that they need me to do these things because they push these things off. And it's just, if I can be there for them to drive them there, so it kind of helps encourage them to go, then I absolutely don't mind that. And sometimes, you know, it always just kind of helps to have someone go there and just kind of like know how to get them through the ER faster, or, you know, some things that they're trying to do. And yeah,
it was cool. She insisted. She told everybody, I'll take him, you know, we'll go and I'll take care of it. And she told me, I said, "Are you sure?" I said, "They'll take him. The company will take him." And she's like, "No, I want to make sure he gets taken care of, and I'll go and we'll figure it all out." So I thought that was really cool of you. I want to give you a virtual high five and hug for that. I thought that was really cool of you to do that. I think everybody agrees that it was nice of you, whether he's leaving or not. You know, he gave us a lot, Brian Cage, and we still have a soft spot for Brian Cage on the Impact fan side. And I thought it was really cool that she did that. So
I want to
Yeah.
bring up something just for history's sake. On my Facebook timeline, I noticed that I had shared something 5 years ago this week. Was mine and a lot of other people's introduction to Brian Cage on a little show called Lucha Underground.
Yeah, that's where was that your first time seeing him?
That was my introduction to Brian Cage, and it was that vignette where he was in some kind of like dusty car lot, and he's getting attacked with bottles and pipes by thugs, and he threw them into, it was big Hollywood slow-mo fight, and bottles getting busted over Cage's head, and I was like, oh my God. And it was a great little flashback to like, oh my God, who is this guy? I can't wait to see more of him and see him in the ring. So it was a nice little trip down memory lane of where he's all been over the course of the last 5 years. And this pay-per-view was a nice little culmination of that road between the Indies, Lucha Underground, to Impact Wrestling, and now wherever else he's going to go now. So
very cool.
There you go.
Look at all
and Brian has never been. I've been vocal about like not being a fan. I mean, his character, was never really big on his style and him. But it's those moments like that where you get to know him a little more. Or you just connect with them a little more, and I'm like, he's just awesome. I like him, and it showed to me a little more of like I said before, these are not just. I mean, these are human beings with feelings and thoughts and perspectives, and just be careful of what you do on social media and say about these people, please. And I just want to add that in because I need to go to sleep.
Okay. Well, you see all these nice comments. See all those nice comments people are saying about you. I don't know if you're seeing all these. There's a lot of great comments about you.
No, I haven't.
You'll have to go back and look.
It's all love for Nurse Nichole. Everyone's very appreciative of everything that you've been doing and talking about and everything. Yeah, they love you.
But before I sign out, I just also want to just like shout out to Impact. Just from, I know that some of the things that you probably already discussed and probably won't discuss, from the injuries or just unexpected moments, to see Impact and their production team to just kind of like pull it all together and just are on fire to give us a seamless show. Phenomenal. Like, credit goes out to that for sure, because there was a lot. I was like, how are they going to do this? How are they going to pull this off? Or wow, they just did that. They did a great job.
It was cool. Very cool. All right, great. Are you taking off? You want to just tell people where they can find you and follow you real quick before you leave?
Yes, just at Wrestling Nurse. That's it.
Wrestling Nurse on Twitter.
I mean, feel free to message me, say hi, or
at
whatever.
Wrestling Nurse on Twitter and at The Wrestling Nurse on Instagram, right?
Yes. I promise to do a little better. I'm trying to get better at it, but
all right, give her a in the meantime, we're tagging her and stuff. So guys, that Wrestling Nurse Nichole, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for all you did. All right, we'll continue on here. All righty. So and I want to talk to Lino, thing with Cage. First time, I don't know about you, but the first time I saw Brian Cage.
Gut check.
Yes. Exactly.
No, yeah. I've been a fan that long, so yeah, for sure.
He fought Jay Bradley, and to this day, I don't know how the F Jay Bradley got the
I don't get it. I don't understand either. I didn't. Oh man, I kind of miss Gut Check sometimes.
I do too. I think Gut Check could be its own thing almost.
It could. Oh, it could be a Impact Plus show or something.
I'm with you, man. I think Gut Check was cool, and that's the first time I saw Brian Cage. And I was like,
yep.
I had heard his name. He'd never been out to the Midwest or anywhere outside of California, I don't think. Yeah. And I was like, damn, this guy's huge. I want him on Impact. But shocks me, man. Couldn't believe it. Oh, but let's keep going here, boys. I don't want to keep everybody too long, but we know it's a pay-per-view review. It's going to be a little longer than normal. But all right, this was one I think the crowd shifted at. You could talk. attest to this too because you were there. But before we go to the next match, Gabby catches up with Sami Callihan, not in the mood to talk to anybody, and he's Jake answers his door, says Sammy's totally fine, and that was it. So a quick little thing about Sami. He's in the zone, not talking to anybody. Michael Elgin and Eddie Edwards doing the Call Your Shot trophy on the line. The trophy concept is a little different for nowadays, but he's got the Call Your Shot trophy. This one shifted the crowd. I think this is the one that got everybody going, oh shit. This is okay. Well, we're up, we're in. We are ready to roll because now we're about halfway through and we're almost to that main event. Like everybody's like, okay, all right, cool. This is now game on, right? And not that the rest weren't, but now I think like you've built, you first match, second match, storyline, promo, blood, okay, shit. All right, here we go. Now we're peaking. So Elgin, again, as we've talked about, Jay has not had a bad match all goddamn time he's been in Impact. I think this was no different. Eddie Edwards, you can put him against the broomstick and it'll be a 5-star match. Lino, what do you think, man? Live, I think this one really got everybody going.
Very physical, hard hitting. I mean, you can hear the hard hitting throughout the whole venue. It was incredible. It was great. Yep. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I know they that top rope German suplex. Wow.
Yes.
Incredible. Great spot.
I was like, how in the hell are these people alive? It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. There was a little bit. Now, Jay, you might have caught this better on TV. And I think they showed a recap today on Access where like Elgin had Eddie locked in going for the rope. And it was kind of what looked to be a tap out, but not a tap out. And Elgin's like, he tapped. What are you doing? He tapped. They were kind of toying with that. And I know Elgin's been playing it up on Twitter last couple days about how, I don't know what Impact conspiracy Eddie tapped. So what do you think about that? How did that come off on TV?
I think I remember seeing it. And I think I jumped a little when he did it. Like, sometimes they hit the mat when they're crawling.
Right.
And it looks like a tap, but it's not really a tap. And that gets people, I think they do that on purpose sometimes because it gets people like, oh, is that a tap?
Yeah.
It psychs people out and it's, I mean, it adds drama to the match, obviously.
I agree. I think that was one of those situations, but I like that Elgin's playing into it. That I think is the interesting point that Elgin is like playing it up. Like, no, he tapped. I got screwed.
Yeah.
But like, okay, cool. I want to put Elgin here, have him work all that. That's pretty cool. Let's do that. And I want to see where that goes now. I wouldn't mind another Elgin Eddie. I wouldn't mind another one. I think these guys can really bring it. Some people are going to say they've had a lot. I think this could be another one. One you can get another match out of and really get some cool mileage out of it. So that'd be cool. But the ending sequence came with Eddie kicked out of a Splash Mountain Bomb and pin attempt. Elgin goes for the Elgin Bomb, hits the turnbuckle portion. Eddie is able to reverse the second part of the move, pinfall victory. So Eddie wins, retains the Call Your Shot. Now we got to keep in mind, guys, Eddie still has a title shot of his choosing. I don't know what he goes for, and when. And how does it fit into where we're at? I mean, is he going to go for Tessa? Babyface. What do we do?
Yeah, it might have something to do with what Sami said at the end of the show tonight. He said something like, "You're never gonna see me coming." So, and that was like the first thing in my head. Like, okay, it could be a surprise from someone. Like Eddie wins it and then gives it to Callihan, just like foreshadowing just something crazy off the wall happening or something. Not that I want that to happen, but I was like, okay, could that be what's coming in the soon to near future? I don't know, but yeah.
Did they put at least did they put time?
Sorry, you're breaking out.
Frame on to cash in that title shot by Slammiversary or end of the year or something. Did they say that about this one?
I don't remember that.
I don't think they have anything like that.
No.
Okay, not for this one, but we'll see. This is going to be interesting where because like you got contenders everywhere, right? You got Elgin, you got Moose, who I think is due for a title run. You got Eddie with a title shot. You got Sammy who was owed a rematch. Like there's a lot of shit, right? There's a lot of people in the mix. But I gotta say this, guys, and Lino, give me your thoughts on this. I think one of the most amazing things is that Impact, and this I think is brilliant. Impact has always been great about they have title contenders at all times.
Oh yeah, across the board. Anyone can step into that role and just take the ball and run with it.
And it makes sense, right? That's a cool
definitely.
thing.
Yeah.
And that's something I notice a lot of indies sometimes struggle with because of the nature of the indies and other companies too. Like I feel like other companies have struggled with this. Like one's on TV, and I don't want to give names, but you guys can probably figure them out. They scramble and then randomly insert people in title shots.
Yeah.
It's like you could put, I'm telling you, right now you could put Moose in a title picture and I would make sense because they've built him to that.
Yeah,
you can put Elgin in a title picture, it makes sense. They built him that. Sammy already has one coming. There's like 5 ready at all times. I think that is brilliant booking.
Yeah, whether if there's a heel or a face, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hell, they even got Taya teasing a unification match.
Right. Yeah.
You have opened up the door with Taya.
She said that at the post pay-per-view press conference. A few of them did pressers afterwards, just in case anybody didn't see them. You can go look them up on YouTube. A few different dirt sheet pages were there as media and shared the press conference afterward. What was Ace, Taya, Eddie? I think so. There was only like 3 or 4 of them that did them. I think most. If you look at all the people that were banged up at the end there, that's why a lot of people didn't do theirs. Especially like you can guess like Ethan Page wasn't physically up for it, so like not a whole lot of explanation there.
Like the nurse was saying, man, these guys, they went hard and they busted their ass all weekend. And like, take it easy on criticizing for some of these guys. Man, they put it all out there and they still had great performances. So it was awesome. Next one was one of my favorites of the night. Moose and Rhino, no DQ match. The gore or the spear versus the gore, or as Rhino likes to call it, the no fucks given.
Oh, that was great. That was great. That was awesome. That got a good pop.
When he said it on the screen, I was right up next to the stage, and he's like, "I gotta move for it. It's the no fucks given," and the whole crowd lost it.
Oh,
I
man.
thought it was great.
It was great.
This is another one. I think I'm trying to remember. Lino, who came out first? Was it Rhino who came out first?
No, it was Moose. Moose came out first. Yeah, Moose
he looked like a fucking the final boss on a video game. Like right when it's like you just kind of, it's like final boss. It's like in the holy shit. This dude looks like a star, man.
No, he is a star, man. He's a superstar. I mean, it's all black and dark, and then the lights show, and then you see him. Oh, I mean, the music hits. It's
amazing,
incredible,
amazing.
Yeah, because on TV it was a close up like this. You only see like so much of him and the lights shining on him, and then they pan out, and then you can start to decipher the colors that are on him and the headband, because the close up was really hard to tell. And there were so many colors in the robe. And then commentary started talking about the colors, and it was like, and then they put it with the Randy Savage thing. So then it all came together.
It out too. Yeah.
And it was, he looked incredible. And I love Randy Savage. So that was a great tribute.
Yeah. Great tribute. He did that in the ring.
Dude, I popped so hard for that. Oh my God.
Too.
I was so excited for that.
He did all he did the elbow drops. It took me a second to catch it. I was like, because he even tweeted it out, and I was like, I didn't catch it. I was like, oh shit, it's Randy Savage. What's funny is his fiance was like a little bit like maybe like 20 feet away from me.
Yeah, she was a couple rows behind me. She was so excited for that match.
She was.
She was there, eh?
She was there. She's tall. You can't miss her.
No, not at all.
She's almost as tall as he is.
Yeah.
And I heard her go, "What's with the stupid headband? Come on."
Yeah, she was saying to her friend that she was with that he had her order 3 of those online. I was like, what?
I love that. I love that. This was a great match. I thought this was awesome. And what I love most about it, that spot on the ramp that took Moose out, because he's another one who ended up on the injury list. He went for Rhino and got back body dropped.
Oh man, so hard.
Dude, he could have been 20 feet in the air if I would have believed you. That looked unreal. He just went boom.
Mac. You heard smack so loud.
You heard it through the whole arena. Jay, like you heard that from the ramp to the back, the smack and the thud. But he got high up. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, that looked crazy. I mean, and I always cringe at shit like that because I've had 3 back surgeries. So whenever I see someone like land on their back on the stage, I always like, I just instant fetal position, just like, just stop that,
Yeah, I thought, but great stuff. It had a lot of good spots, good pace. Rhino again, guys. Rhino, another one. Put him versus anybody. And it's a good match. The guy doesn't have bad matches. He's your most solid performer. Yeah. He's cool. Like Rhino's cool, man. You see Rhino backstage and stuff. Like he's cool. He's a cool guy. And like he's just good at what he does, man. And he's a cool dude. I thought this was a great win for Moose to have. It keeps continuing him beating all the ECW guys. And he had Rhino on this list. The ending came here. It was good back and forth. Ending came. Rhino went for a gore through the table that they had set up. Moose pulled in the referee. They both get gored. And the ref takes most of it. Another referee comes in to make the count. But Moose kicks out and then spin around, little sequence. Moose hits the low blow. Spear takes the 1, 2, 3. My only thing was I know it bothered Moose. I'm sure he didn't get to do that flip through on the spear that he does. Mm-hmm. Just because of the proximity. Did you catch that, Lino? It was like
yeah, for sure.
Just because how quickly he had to hit the spear, he didn't get to do the flip through.
You could see on his face he was a little bit frustrated he didn't get it, but yeah,
it was just where they were in the ring. He went for the finish and he got it. But I think he loves that flip through is what makes his spear special.
And different, for sure.
It does make it unique. Instead of someone just diving through someone like Rhino does or like Edge did or Goldberg. Yeah, I mean Moose is unique, like because it's almost like a roll through, which sometimes you look at it and it doesn't look like it has that much impact, but the dude is 300 plus pounds. Hell yeah, there's impact there, yeah.
No question. But a real good match. I think another one that kept the pace up, kept the fuel going, and I thought it was really cool, man. I'm happy for Moose. Poor guy, he was a little banged up though. As you saw, he tweeted it out. He ended up in the ER too to get checked out.
Yeah, I think he was. It was his back, and I think he had a concussion too.
That's what I heard.
He was walking up kind of loopy towards the ramp. Yeah. It
was a physical match. I mean, no question about it. I think then nurse checked up on him as well, and he's doing a little better. So he's definitely get on the road to feeling better. But man, very physical match. They cut to a screen with it's Dr. Ariel and Rich Swann, and Swann saying he hurt his ankle on Friday, and he's not clearing him to wrestle. Doctor won't even let Swann go ringside, so Mac has to go solo. Now I thought they were going to do something here, guys. I thought they were going to do something, either give Willie another partner, or I thought Swann was going to try to do something at ringside, come out, cause a loss, like something. But Willie went solo on this one. And you know what? And Lino can attest to this. Nobody seemed to mind.
Oh, not at all.
That they didn't want Rich. It was more like, okay, cool. He's gonna do this, and nobody was like, "Oh shit, what sucks?" No Rich Swann, and or like, we don't care about Rich. It's like it was just like, oh, this is an interesting dynamic now. You know, like,
definitely.
oh shit,
Yeah,
can he do this by himself?
yeah, and he came pretty close. He came pretty close a couple of times.
Guys, so it was against the North, Josh Alexander, Ethan Page, who, as we know, had the shits, as he was very vocal about, with emojis and tweets. But not filtered. But
Page is just a hero in so many people's minds after everything he went through, and he even posted stuff on Facebook today that he spent several hours in the hospital
today.
Yeah, just crazy.
He the nurse pumped him full of Gatorade so he can get through it. So his electrolytes are up. This was a great match for a solo effort from Willie Mack. Man, what an amazing effort. But guys, nothing tops the one thing in this match that I'm gonna let Lino set this up, because
oh my gosh,
this was
oh my man,
the building came unglued. Literally
Yes.
everybody jumped to their seat out of their seat when this happened.
No, everyone was so excited. I got goosebumps afterwards. Like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I saw. I couldn't believe I was there live seeing it. The top rope Super Canadian Destroyer was incredible.
Yeah, over the other guy, that was ridiculous.
Doomsday Destroyer. It was, imagine, for anybody who didn't see it, Ethan Page had Josh Alexander on his shoulders in what would be the Doomsday device for the Legion of Doom, right? Willie Mack ended up at the top of the ring, or top rope, and he's like, all right. And I thought he's just going for a Doomsday. Clothesline off.
Yep. So did I.
This guy goes and does a Canadian Destroyer. So imagine somebody's on my shoulders and somebody comes off and not just knocks him down, Canadian Destroyer perfectly to a T.
Oh my gosh.
A goddamn T. Canadian Destroyer. How they were all safe, no broken necks. I don't even know.
Do not try this at home ever, please. Oh my gosh.
Never try this at home. But God, Lino, the crowd,
oh my gosh,
in unison. Jay, you had to have jumped up. Tell me and lie to me. Did you jump out of your seat at home?
Oh, I jumped on that one. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, okay, sick or not, how did nobody shit themselves on that?
For sure.
Seriously.
Forget Ethan Page. How did nobody? Unbelievable. I was in the corner. So let's say I was like, if you're looking from the ramp down to the ring, I was in the left. So I saw that full room view, and I saw the corner where he did it, and my God, it was unreal. There's a slow motion capture of it that Josh has tweeted out. Go look on his Twitter.
Oh, wow.
It is so cool. I was like,
no, it was great.
Unbelievable.
What an effort though, guys. Willie was back and forth. I mean, he was kicking out of shit. He was holding his own, man. But at one point, guys, I thought he was going to get it. I really did. I really thought he was going to get it.
Yeah, no, they did a good job convincing us, man. My disbelief was like, wow, this could happen right now, and then so close.
It was where the sequence came was that he hit his stunner, the max stunner on Page. You thought like, okay, cool. He went for one on Josh, but Josh blocked it. Punched him. He goes back into Ethan. Ethan punches him. Punch back and forth, ping pong, and then they hit him to finish the Northern Assault, also known as the TNA. If anybody hasn't caught that reference, the Northern Assault.
Never. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So they hit him with that. So retention on the North, big win for them to keep it at the paper. And they're continuing on, but man, I think Willie Mack was made into an Impact legend that day. That was it.
I have something I want to bring up because I don't know if you guys got this feel, but was someone going to turn heel? Rich or Willie Mack?
Everybody's prediction.
Thought that, yeah.
Everybody's prediction. I gotta say, I think Jay and we talked about it on our prediction show. Everybody's prediction was that Willie's turning. Willie's gonna turn. That's it.
I actually thought it was Rich, but I mean, I saw both.
See, I was waiting for Rich to come out and screw over Willie Mack.
I did too. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh man!
Tonight on the show, when they showed the backstage footage. Excuse me. After Willie came back,
I saw that
after the loss, and Rich is standing there talking to him, I thought I was waiting for him to like drop a crutch, grab the bottom, and swing.
Right?
Waiting
Man.
for it. I'm like, here it comes. They're talking, and all of a sudden, mid sentence, crack. Nope, it didn't happen. So yeah.
It was more Willie feeling bad. He let him down, and Rich saying, "No, what are you talking about, man? Are you crazy?"
It's like you killed it. Yeah.
Yeah. We continue on. I don't. The constant tease is kind of fun, though. We're kind of like,
It is.
When's it going to happen? You know. So we'll see where that goes. I mean,
maybe when Rich is better, and then they'll. I don't know.
We'll see. But look, the North, I think, are just incredibly dominant right now, man. There's a lot going on for the North right now. They have indie dates lined up, defending tag belts around the country, along with the Impact stuff that they're doing. Like, there's some interesting stuff coming for the North, so keep your eye on them. Now, I think it was right before the main event that's coming up here, we got an announcement for the next pay-per-view, which is Rebellion. So that's becoming part of the Big Four. So Rebellion's coming back for 2020, but broadcasting from New York City at Terminal 5 in New York City. Now, guys, do yourself a favor and Google Terminal 5 New York City. It is real cool. This is the place where Ring of Honor held, I think it was Final Battle 2014. And this is a really cool venue. Jay, if you can do a screen share, if you want to Google and do a screenshot and just show everybody, because this is going to look really cool. But I think it's cool. Back to New York City. That's kind of fun. We're looking at repeating New York. So New York, obviously Impact's making New York a regular stop, but this is a new venue. I hope we get TV out of there too, because it would look really, really cool. So that, Lino, did you catch the date for Rebellion? Was that I want to say April 20th?
I just had it. I just lost it.
Okay. Yeah, once you get it, it's definitely bigger than Melrose. No question about it. It's a bigger venue than Melrose.
This is a very unique looking venue.
Yes. Share that screen and show everybody here. It's a concert venue. It's very popular, very famous concert venue, Terminal 5. And like I said, they've done Ring of Honor 2014. And I recall, I'm trying to remember what that main event was. I can't remember, but that was, it looks cool. Wrestling looks cool there too. It was very similar to this one, like the Bomb Factory being a rock and roll club. Terminal 5 is a music venue. So it has that look to it. So I want to definitely see how they're going to lay it out, what they plan on doing with it. I think Impact's going to do a great job.
Okay, that didn't work. Hang on.
So while we wait for Jay to pull that up, do you guys think it's the end of Melrose? Will they start doing Terminal 5? Will they tape TV or maybe keep Melrose in the mix? Would you guys? I want to hear from the guys in the chat. Do you guys like? I've heard mixed reviews on Melrose. I've attended Bound for Glory 18 at Melrose. I didn't mind it. Being there live is a different dynamic than seeing it on TV. What do you guys think about Melrose Ballroom? Lino, what about you, man? What do you think about it?
Oh, man, it's great. I love it.
You like it?
Yeah, and then I think I found – actually, there's no date for Rebellion. It just says April 2020.
Okay. For now, we just got April 2020. So we'll wait till the official date. But that's – and speaking of pay-per-view announcements, let's just throw this in there since we can break this now. Lockdown was the tease. Lockdown has been put out there, and that's going to be the next – and that's not a pay-per-view, though. That is going to be – Impact Plus? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see what they –
special.
Do we have a date on that? I think there was a date on it. I think I saw a date for it. It was – let's see here. March. I know that. And I'm trying to find what I knew. I just had the date because I literally have a group chat with referee Nate. And
March 28th.
March 28th. So – Referee Nate and Basil. Yeah, I just saw her March 28th. Ringside photographer over there, my buddy. We all just said it. All right, guys, we're driving to Windsor. So, Jay, we could pick you up. You're on the way.
Okay, perfect.
March 28th, guys, Lockdown. So we got Rebellion. Lockdown's the big super show on Impact Plus, and Rebellion in April. So
I don't know how this is going to come off.
Okay, Jay's going to share a photo. I just want to show you guys Terminal 5.
This is probably going to look like crap because I tried to blow it up and it's
okay. Show us what you can. We can get a visual and just a rough idea for people who haven't seen it, just so they can see how cool wrestling will look in this venue. But
it's not letting me share.
Okay. Well, no worries, guys. If you can't get the share, don't worry about it. Just Google image Terminal 5, New York City. Check it out. But
yeah, there's plenty of pictures. Everything I clicked on kept sending me to Pinterest, and just
Weird.
it was just being stupid.
All right, no worries.
Yeah, it looks like a great venue. Just Google it.
All right, cool. Well, guys, now we are here. Main event. I think this match had everybody on the edge of their seat. Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard. This was something cool, man. This was something cool. Now, again, like we talked about at the top of the show, the controversy over the weekend, I think, added to it a little bit because we were very unsure honestly, where Tessa's head was at. You know, where she was mentally on this one too. I mean, that's a lot in 24 hours for her to deal with.
Yeah.
Biggest match, her family's in the front row. She's got this going on, you know, a year of build nearly. I mean, it's like all this stuff, and it's like she has all this shit in her head, and you got to pull off this match. It was pretty cool. I actually was standing by the stage, and I said, you know what? For this one, I'm going to stand amongst the crowd, and I went on the opposite side. I just stood in the crowd. Nice. Jay, I want to hear from Jay real quick. Jay, how was commentary to present this to you guys? Because it felt like a big deal live. It really did.
Just as much as they kept saying over the course of the last week on the last few shows, saying, could Tessa do this? They kept it felt like a hint that it was going to happen, but that was obviously before this shitstorm on social media and the controversy and everything. Yeah. So it was really hard to tell what was going to happen. Was the company going to play it safe, do something completely out of left field? No, they went with it. And to give props to commentary, the only thing that they said at the end of the match or during the entire match that I noticed, Josh Matthews, after she won, said she ignored the noise. That was it. And that was perfect.
That was good.
That was perfect. They couldn't have said it with any more class to touch on all the bullshit and yet blow right over it. It was
beautiful.
Great.
That's perfect. Lino, are you wearing a Tessa Blanchard t-shirt, by the way?
Of course.
There it is.
Of course.
Undeniable.
Yes.
There it is. Very nice. Very fitting. I'm wearing the Hard to Kill t-shirt.
Nice.
I was going to ask you to do the hair flip, but you can't.
I got the hat on. It's a bad hair day today, guys. I got in late from Dallas last night. Not a good hair day today. I would have done the hair flip.
I mean, Lino, he's got the Tessa shirt, and she does the.
Oh, Lino.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have that beautiful hair as Trent does.
You guys are in the club.
The hair flip and the wink and yeah.
I think I might be the Mexican Jaybone now. I don't know.
Yes, I could swap one for the other right here.
Together we make a great looking ass.
Right. I like that.
Especially because you two are on the top screens too.
Yeah,
just put them right.
Let's see. Hold on.
There we go. That's great.
That's great.
Very cool for you guys watching. On screen, that just made the show. But this match, guys, had me. I was telling. I forgot who I was telling this to. I think it was Sammy after the show. I said, man, I first told him, I said, you're a complete artist. But I said, we work here. If I for a guy like me, I get to work there and I get to be backstage and do these things. And I'm like, I don't get to be a fan that often where I don't even see a script or I don't know what's happening. But man, I got lost in this one. Even the count outs of the ring. I was like, when she was going to the 9, I was like, oh shit. I was like, I felt the flutter. I said, I felt that again. I texted Nichole. I said, this is incredible. I feel like a fan right now. Like a no bias, anything, not knowing shit fan. And I loved it. That feeling of the back and forth, the false finish, the back. I mean, live, Lino, everybody stood, right? The whole crowd was on their feet.
Oh yeah, it's when people came when they were both doing the entrances, everyone was on their feet right there.
Nobody sat down after that.
No,
After the entrance, everybody was up.
Exactly. Yep.
I love the face-off was cool. You know, the face-off was really cool. She stood stone face in the corner during Sammy's whole thing. Sammy looked like $1 million. New vest, new boots. He looked great. I think he was ready to play. But man, what a match! What a story that this match had.
Man, it had me so scared though because right off the bat, she hit that cactus driver, and I was like, no way they're gonna end this for just quick right now.
I thought it was it. I said, no.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, because we can't help but get caught up in the BS, right? And I'm like, oh no, cactus driver. What's gonna happen? Is Eddie gonna come out and cash in? What happens now? You know, but she kicked out.
Yep.
You know, she kicked out. She hit it, but then she hit him with the Magnum.
Yeah.
And I was like,
right away.
What the hell is this? You know?
That was the fact that both started hot with finishers. I mean, just got everybody like gasping within the first 10 seconds. Okay. So right there, it was like, oh man, you hang on, because if this is how we're going, 10 seconds in, look out.
It was unreal. Kill Steel's asking why they cut the pay-per-view 7 minutes early. I'm going to talk about it in a second, because I don't think this part made the pay-per-view, but man, I'm not lying to you guys. Everybody was on their feet. Nobody sat down.
No,
nobody sat down.
At least not where I was at, man. No, everyone. No, they were so vocal too. They were so vocal.
It was so exciting to be a part of it. But when the finishing sequence happened, he was going jackknife pin by Tessa. She went for jackknife pin only to. She swings away. He spits on her, flips her off. Tessa throws more shots, pump kick, Canadian destroyer, and then she hits another destroyer off the second rope. He's dazed. He's wobbling. Then she hits him with the buzzsaw DDT. 1, 2, 3, done. And man, you saw the face of Tessa and the emotion. Holy shit. Now, okay, I need to know, Jay, where did they cut it for you guys?
As soon as she got up on the turnbuckle and raised up the belt, it cut.
Okay.
So it was within seconds after her win.
Okay, so I actually have it'd probably right around, and I took a photo that ended up getting taken by a few people and retweeted by others. But I took this picture from where I was at, and like I said, it's hard to maybe see that, but that's
the one you shared on social media. Yeah, that is a great photo.
And that's so they cut it right about there when she was in that corner, right? Okay.
She was handed it to her. It was handed to her. She got up on her feet. She went to the turnbuckle, raised it, cut.
Okay.
I'll tell you what though, just to continue the story, what happened after that. And they showed I'm so glad they showed the footage. They didn't show the speech, but they showed her embracing her family in the ring. On tonight's episode, they showed her going up the ramp, hugging Gail Kim, D'Lo Brown, Scott D'Amore, and
there was a lot of people.
It was so I'm getting choked up again just talking about it. It was so emotional, and the footage, her just bawling backstage and talking to Scott D'Amore and saying, "Hey, you're the future of this industry," and just reasserting positivity to her, like, "Hey, we knew you could do it," and just the whole moment and showing all that footage was great. It really was.
I personally lost it. I started getting the choke up feeling when she got up. She was crying, and then her family got in, and her her mom was there watching her, and her mom's crying, and I'm just like, man, it's like any kid. You're thinking, we know it's a show. We know she went in knowing it, but damn it, there's still an accomplishment to this.
Yeah.
to be given that
It
moment.
still means it. Yeah. What,
still
you
means
can
a
call
lot.
it, you can call it a prop, you can call it whatever. It still means something.
It's
to be
and
recognized like that.
her mother was bawling, and her sisters were crying. Her brother was losing his goddamn mind.
Oh, he was so hyped. It was like
Yeah.
he won. It was like he won. That was great.
Dude,
Yeah.
that guy took the belt, and I was like, whoa, man, who's the champion over here?
Yeah. Yeah. He almost fell over the rope.
I know.
He
Well,
was like-
I saw her give it. She said, "Hold this for a second." I saw her say, "Hold this for a second." And this dude was like, "Yeah!" I was like, "Whoa, slow down there, partner. Let her have this." It was funny. It was quite funny to see that. But dude, and she gave a speech. So they didn't show the speech on TV today.
No.
Okay. I guess I had to miss
No.
the second hour, so I didn't see because I had to run out. But she gave a speech loosely addressing everything, but just enough that you kind of figured it out. You know, like, hey, say what you will about me, but I know who I am. I work hard. I'm not perfect. The things of that nature, but I got everybody, man. So they made a tweet, guys. I'm going to read this tweet. It's really cool. Angle, Sting, Joe, Foley, Styles, RVD, Hardy, Anderson, Storm, Rude, Aries, Bully Ray, Sabin, Magnus, Young, Lashley, EC3, Hardy, Galloway, Edwards, Patron, Drake, Pentagon, Impact, Cage, Callahan, and now Blanchard. I thought that was cool.
That was awesome.
I thought that was very cool.
Very.
The photos Basil took were iconic. I think are going to go down in history. He took some beautiful pictures. The ones that you see, the one we're using for the cover of this video, as well as there's another one with her in the belt, raising the belt. These are going to be iconic pictures, man. And I think these are going to go down. This is very historic for what it is. I mean, This was unbelievable.
Yeah, all the little girls in the crowd, they're the ones that got me emotional. Seeing their look on their faces, and some of them are crying. Oh my gosh, it was incredible.
I think that's the thing. It's more so how it affected different people. Some people, it's for some people, they're not happy with her, and they're not going to be happy with her. She's lost some fans for sure. There's people who are not happy about a woman being in this mix. Totally fine. I just think I'm looking at it from the company standpoint, and I think it for what the work that they did for this, for the amount of work they put into it, and how they presented it to us. It's a real historic thing to happen for the company, for the industry, whether you like her or not. There was a guy next to me who was very, very upset about it. Extremely, very, very big Sammy fan. He was booing, but he took it in stride. But he was not happy about the result.
Yeah,
you like it or hate it, and that's fine. I'm not trying to convince anyone to like it or hate it. It's more so it's going to affect everybody differently, and I think the company did something very ballsy, and I think at the end, it's gonna go down in history. So.
Yeah, I mean, there are bigger companies out there that could have had a storyline like this, and I said the same thing. No one had the balls to do it, because you don't see anybody doing it on a bigger stage with someone like, a perfect example, Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
perfect example. But now I wonder how long it's going to be before you see another company take that, put it into a storyline, and a few months down the road, boom, Charlotte is Universal Champion, and I know all the people are going, oh, they copied Impact Wrestling, and you'll hear like Michael Cole say, is it no other time before in wrestling history, and I wouldn't be surprised, and I
wouldn't be either,
but
that's the irony. I feel like WWE operates in their own little bubble, and when they call it a universe, it's literally their own little world.
Oh yeah,
but
they don't even call their fans for crying out loud. It's like,
it's whatever it is. But wait, listen, we know what happened. But man, Lino, I gotta say, man, live, it was cool to see. The moment was special.
Cool. Yeah, and having no idea. I mean, we were all hoping for this to happen. of not having that idea, not knowing what was going to happen. And I think Impact should be recognized. Anything can happen. You know, it's not predictable, and they make you feel that way, and they do an amazing job of that.
Yeah, I think that's the best part. As wrestling fans, man, everything's so exposed. You know, I mean, shit. If we can get taken for a ride every now and then, why not?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I liked it. I'm happy you got me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was backstage. I didn't ask anybody anything. You know, Basil knew because he had to be in certain spots for photos. He's like, I'm not telling you shit. I'm like, don't tell me anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Nate knew. I mean, we all went down together. These guys knew because Nate was there backstage doing stuff. He reffed on TV. They knew. I'm like, don't tell me a fucking thing. I want to go in this raw. I don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
So I like that. I want to be a fan wherever I can. Impact, I get to be a fan. And I love it. So kudos to keeping it fun. So man, that's hard to kill, guys. That's exciting times. I had a great time in Texas. I had some damn good barbecue. Lino, I hope you got some barbecue while you're
of course. Pecan Lodge, man.
Oh, see, I was gonna go to Pecan Lodge, but the line was out the door.
It was packed. I had to go there so early.
I ended up going. I was told by a local said, "Screw Pecan Lodge, go to Terry Black's down the street."
Oh, nice.
And it was pristine, phenomenal.
Nice.
So we had a great time. Jay, I think that's so we kept the people. You know, we typically do the pay-per-view ones a little longer. This one an hour 50. Some people were asking if you and I are going to do a review of Bachelor Brewery and Arlington Brawl. I'd have to watch Brewery. Like I said, I just landed yesterday. Did you watch Bachelor Brewery?
Yeah, Brewery was great. I reviewed it on my channel.
Okay.
It was a great show. I didn't catch Arlington. I caught tiny bits and pieces of the Arlington show because the family stuff. It was last minute. We were puppy sitting, and well, that just took all our time then because it was a big puppy. It wasn't like, okay, we have it's the size of a dog like this, and you can, just kind of let him do his thing. No, this is like watching after a baby, So, so yeah, I missed it. I wanted to review it and I wanted to watch it. I didn't get to it, but Bastion's Brewery is great. If you want to watch it and we can review it later this week, I'm good.
Okay. I mean, well, Jay's got it up on his channel, guys. If you want a review, go to Smash This Podcast. At least check out his review that he's got up already. If I can get it watched, we got a lot of work to do, Jay. We still got to do. I'm thinking now that this the weekly had what it had, we might have to still break down the weekly show a little bit, or if you feel like we got enough today, we'll have to decide on that.
No, I don't think we have to because we talked a little bit about the matches, the dark matches that were on there. So yeah,
so we might
unless you want to talk about Katie Forbes' boobs for a half an hour.
I'm sure we could, but and that'll draw the ratings. But the other part of it too, Jay, is I guess we still got to do our Total Nonstop Impact throwback show we're doing the old NWA TNA shows. Yes. For anybody who doesn't know, we've been doing the old NWA TNA reviews on the other channel, the Total Nonstop Impact channel, not on the lounge here. But if you like if you will grow up on the NWA TNA, watch along with us on the Impact Plus, and we're doing those. We're on episode 6 coming up. So we'll try to get that watched and maybe up this week as well. So, guys, I think that covers Hard to Kill. Let's get some plugs in here. Lino, where can people find you and connect with you? You've been I'm so glad we got to meet. I'm so glad we got to finally get you on the lounge because you've been a behind-the-scenes guy. Nobody knew what you looked like.
I know. No one even knew about me at all. So that's great.
You contacted me, and you're like, hey, I work for the Impact Lounge. I'm like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was like,
who's this guy?
Yeah.
Like it was like 6 months ago. I was like, I don't know who. I was like, wait a minute, who is this guy trying to scam some Impact Lounge? And I was like, I don't know who this is.
Nope, I'm legit guy.
He's legit for sure. He's a cool dude, man, guys. Where can people follow you, Lino? Where can we connect? I'm gonna follow you on Instagram too right now, as you said.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram at camera_785.
Camera
_785. Yep.
Cool. _7. And I'm going to follow you from the Total Nonstop Impact Instagram as well in just a second.
I filmed a little bit of a vlog of my trip in Texas for the weekend.
Very nice.
I'll post it on Instagram. You guys will see it.
I like it. You're a photographer, huh? Very cool. Very good work. I like this.
I dabble a little bit. Appreciate it.
Good job. Very cool, man. So, and that's is that your only social media? No Twitter, nothing, right?
No, I don't use Twitter. Just Instagram.
Okay, sounds good, guys. Give
More
him a follow.
visual.
Camera underscore. I'm doing it from both of our Instagrams right now. Jay, in the meantime, where can people find you?
I'm typing.
We're following him right now live. That's it. Give him a follow. But Jaybone,
There we go.
There we go. Where can people follow you, Jay?
You can follow me over on that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast on YouTube. Smash This Podcast also is on Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter. My own personal Twitter is Jaybone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
Beautiful. Guys, you can follow me at Vanilla Joke, Instagram, Twitter, or at Hemi Music, HEMIMUSIC, Hemi Music, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Hook it up with the follows. I know there's a lot of you out there. Let's get those follows going, guys, on the band. More music hopefully to come with Impact this year. We're already in talks on a couple things, so let's see where that goes. But definitely give me a follow there, guys. You can also follow the show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at We Talk Impact. Just type in We Talk Impact. Total Nonstop Impact comes right up. So interact with us. Give us a follow on social media. Also, don't forget, this podcast can be found wherever podcasts can be found. Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Player.fm, YouTube, wherever you can have a podcast, this podcast exists. So wherever your podcast app of choice is, please go to it. And don't forget to review it. 5-star reviews always welcome, especially on iTunes and Stitcher because they use that. So I want to give a shout out again to the Impact Wrestling crew for being very courteous hosts, having me backstage, welcoming me, Eric Tompkins in production, Johnny Bravo being back there, the whole roster, anybody I spoke to, the crew. They were all so welcoming to me, man. Brandon Tolley was really cool. Gosh, I'm probably going to leave somebody off. Josh Matthews, Scott Demore, Ross Foreman, everybody was very, very nice. As always, Eric said something to me on the way out, guys. He goes, "Hey, you're part of the family. You're always welcome here." So can't beat that. So just want to thank them. It was cool. It feels really nice. So anyway, guys, give us a follow, connect with us. Thank you again. It was really cool. Bill's saying it in the chat. Bomb Factory needed more Hemi. Absolutely, we're going to do it next time for sure. This year, we're doing some more music. There we go. So, guys, if you want to support the band, HemiMusic.com, check it out. CDs and all that stuff available, including the stuff we did for Impact. So, if you want like that song, those songs, you can get them on the website. So, guys, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you both, as always.
Thank you, guys.
Lino, I want to have you back for sure. I want to have you back on again.
Love to. Anytime. Thank you.
This was fun. Guys, all right, sounds good. Guys, thank you very much for hanging with us in the chat for 2 hours. My God, on a Tuesday night? Lunatics. You're all lunatics. We love you. We'll talk to you guys later. We'll announce the throwback show pretty soon, probably tomorrow or Thursday morning at the latest. We'll let you guys know. Thanks again, guys. Say goodbye, you two.
See ya.
Later.
Oh, Lino cut out.